Hey Wabbit! Good time of day to you as well. Today we are checking out the Fractal Audio VP4 virtual pedal board. I'm playing my multi-poly. A very basic patch here. So my Oxy 1 is on its way to Spain for warranty repairs. So here I am stuck with my keyboard and my fingers. But I think it's not so bad because we have a new pedal. I love pedals. And Fractal Audio it's basically a very guitar-centric company. They started almost 20 years ago. They released the first XFX rack unit, which was this super high-end guitar amp modeling and effects unit. And back then they were very small and the unit was quite expensive, but all the hype on the internet basically made me buy one. So I got one in 2009, so I've been using Fractal Audio products for like 16 years. There was 1 year that I didn't have a Fractal Audio product, or almost a year, and I switched to the Quad Cortex from Neural DSP. But I quickly switched back to Fractal. And then I basically stopped playing the guitar. I haven't really touched my guitars in more than a year. So I'm all about the synthesizers now. So I sold my last Fractal unit in January, I think. Basically, I miss the effects because they have really super high quality effects. And I figured they put out the VP4, which is an all effects unit. So I thought that I would go for this one. This is actually better than the one I had. I had the FM3, and this has, I think this has better effects. I'm not sure anymore, but this had like the effects from the flagship XFX3, which is like super expensive. So this has all their best algorithms, I think. Yeah, I had the gate issue on the Oxy, and that's probably the reason I had problems on the stream last week when I was trying to do the polyphonic modular patch, because I was getting ghost triggers in the gate outputs. So that's when I really noticed it. I noticed I had some double triggers before, but then I really noticed that bleed. So basically when I had more basically, if you had 4 adjacent gate outputs assigned on the Oxy, you would get bleed on certain outputs. But it's super weird. Basically, the voltage would bleed into the other outputs, and you would just get like a gate. And it was really weird. But then I noticed it, and Oxy came through. They took care of my issue, or basically they were in touch with me on a Saturday. It was very nice. I wish they would take it easy on the weekends. It's not good to work all the time, but I'm happy with the service. And now the Oxy is on its way back, and I'm sure they'll fix it. Apparently they have to replace the board with a newer revision or something. Go for a bit more mellow sound here, less resonance. So the VP4 here, yeah. Again, this Fractal audio is very guitar-centric, and this unit is also quite guitar-centric, but this is really it's just a very high-quality multi-effects unit. We are right now checking out the reverb block here. So they have like basically, if I go back to the main screen here, you have 4 FX slots here, where you can put almost anything in any slot. Basically, the major exceptions are that you can only have 2 separate reverb blocks, because they are super CPU intensive. These take up a lot of power. So you can only have 2 reverbs, but who needs more than 2 reverbs? And some other blocks as well are limited to only 2, but most other blocks you can have, like, you could do a FX chain of 4 chorus blocks if you wanted to, for some reason, or 4 delays, or several drives, or whatever. But I think this is really good for just basic FX chains here, or different FX at a time. There are more advanced switching options here. You have channels for each effect, so you can have, basically in a preset you can have 4 completely different settings for a particular block. So we could have like chorus here, and then I could switch between 4 different choruses in one preset. But super flexible in that way, and just very nice sounding effects. And we will go into reverb block again. Now this is like the I wonder if you can see this just about. You can make out the text. But this is the basic page here, just like simple parameters. You get your time, your pre-delay. Pre-delay can go quite long, 1 second, 1000 milliseconds. Now this I don't like. The knob ballistics are kind of not great. There's like not enough acceleration. So you have to twist and twist. Oh, it's actually, you have to do like a quick, yeah. Fractal audio is not known for their usability, to put it nicely. They're okay. This is a lot simpler than their amp modular units. And you get these parameters here for the reverb, their size, time. You make the room bigger. There's mix, of course. Go very subtle. I never go subtle. I'll have the reverb at 50% here. And then we can turn this encoder to get to the bottom row here. So now we can control these parameters with these encoders. So we have a low cut. We basically cut the lows before the reverb, and you can cut highs. Make the arpeggio a little slower. Bring up the resonance. Yeah, Fractal audio is more well known in guitar circles, definitely. They actually have very big names using their effects, especially. They have people like Steve Vai, John Petrucci, dude from Iron Maiden, and I think John Mayer was using Fractal audio at least for a while, Guthrie Govan, all these super good guitarists. So these are like pro level effects, and there's no reason why they wouldn't work for synthesizers as well. So they are just very much marketed towards guitarists. But this, I had the H90 and I liked it, and it had some very good effects, not all of them. Many of them were sort of so-and-so, but the really good ones were really good. But then it had some issues with usability. Now this one does as well, but I'm used to the Fractal audio way of doing things, so it's not a problem for me. And the H90 only had 2 effects at once, and while this has 4. Now the H90 has 2 entirely separate stereo chains, which is the one huge minus in this one. I will, it would be quite rare for me to use an FX chain of 4 effects. So I would rather have 2 entirely separate stereo chains. So I could have like 2 synthesizers running through this and each have 2 effects on them. But it is what it is. Now the price in Europe for this is higher than in the United States, because Fractal is a small company and they basically sell direct, and they have distributors which probably don't get much of a discount on the products. So the prices are quite high. But they recently dropped the price on the VP4 by more than €100, so I figured I would go for this one. And I already know that I really like the FX quality. And we'll go back to the reverb block here. So this is page 1 of the settings here. We have page 2 here, where we have parameters like ducking. So the So the reverb will duck out of the way while you are playing. And there's stack and hold. So you can stack. You can hear this, there's like the reverb is constantly building up. And then there's of course hold. You can hold the reverb. And we can turn that off. And these can all be controlled. This basically has like a, I would compare the they call them modifiers, but I call them modulators because they are very similar to something you would find in a modular synthesizer. So you have LFOs, you have sequencer, you have ADSR, you have envelope generators and all this, which you can use to control parameters in your effects. So this thing can go super deep, like so deep that it doesn't even make any sense. I will show you in a minute the reverb block and the advanced settings in the reverb. Hey Trash Laser Guitarist, welcome. Oh boy, Fractal VP4, yes. I finally caved in and got one because G66 in the EU dropped their prices by quite a lot. And I've been wanting one for a while. I've had all 3 generations of Fractal devices, and now I only want the effects, so the VP4 is the one for me. Now on to the ridiculous expert page here. So you press both page buttons here and you get to the expert menu. We'll actually change to this page here. Now, if you look at this, this is only for the reverb. The parameters here, you can see how much stuff we have here to work with. So you can tweak so much. You can spend so much time just tweaking the reverb block. It's a crazy amount of stuff. You don't have to go here, but you can if you want to. And I want to, because I want to add pitch shifting to this reverb. Now this reverb algorithm doesn't have pitch shifting by default, but you can just go here and add it to this. So we'll add pitch mix to, let's say, 50%, and voice 1 shift to an octave up. Oh, Wabbit, don't be scared of the expert menu. But this is not required. You don't have to go here, you can just use the basic stuff. But right now I added a pitch shifter that has 2 voices. There's one is up an octave, the other is up 2 octaves. And then we can mix these differently. Voice balance. I don't always remember what these do. Do like a voice balance. Then you have stuff like splice time. No idea what this does. Stuff is in the block guide somewhere. And there's pitch feedback. I don't think there's another FX unit that has this much control. So this kind of thing is not sort of a traditionally good UI design or user experience design, because generally you would want to limit the stuff you allow the or you expose to the user. But Fractal Audio is kind of an engineering minded company, so they just give you everything. And then it's on you to either use it or not. Paco Ray-Ban. Oh, beer. I wish I had a beer. Any knob but that one? Yeah. Don't tweak that knob. We can choose our pitch direction. We can have the pitch go in reverse. We're getting quite ambient here. So basically I'm just making my own shimmer reverb here. Then you can choose where in the reverb algorithm the pitch shifter is located. So right now it's in input. We can put it in the matrix. Or in the feedback loop. And that's it. We'll keep it in matrix. We can modulate the pitch shifters. Add modulation, a bit of movement here. Go a bit more mellow on the synth sound so we can hear the pitch shifter better. And then we can set the pitch shifter high cut. So bringing it up, we get a much brighter sound. So this will allow you to make very ugly sounds. So basically it's on you to do what you want. And I kind of love that. I also love a more curated experience that you get with something like the UAFX Golden, which has very few parameters, but it sounds incredible and it's like all sweet spot. But I also like the Fractal thing because it just lets you do whatever. It doesn't limit you in any way. So right now we have a pitch shifter in a reverb type that doesn't have a pitch shifter normally. Then you can set your modulation here in the reverb. So depth, we can bring up the modulation depth, change the rate here, and set your LFO phase. So you can have this like 180. So you have different modulation on left and right. And then there's more advanced settings for the ducker. Just crazy. There's some mix settings for stereo spread, for example. We can make it spread out a lot, or make it basically, I think it's mono now. And you can set your input gain. You can choose which input is going into this reverb. So basically you could run left into one reverb and right into another reverb, and basically have like full stereo separate reverbs, which is useful with the very good spring emulations here, because they are mono and they take up a lot of CPU. But you can run two of them here and just run left and right to separate spring reverbs. I haven't yet checked how you do the parallel routing, but I will have to look into that later. So this is basically our custom reverb right now. If you go into the expert, we also have this very fancy EQ here. Basically you can just build your own reverb. But we will switch to another type here. Let's stay with reverb for a while. We make do something more subtle, like a plate. A gold plate. Now this has a really good plate emulation. This is like a fairly new algorithm. An absolutely crazy realistic sounding plate. And for the plate we have these basic settings here. There's time, pre-delay, size, mix, dispersion, low cut, high cut, level. They can basically just stay in this page and be fine. We can bring up the time. Bring down the mix because the blade sounds a lot more overbearing. And we can actually make the time completely unnaturally long. I think it's up to 100 seconds. Yep. We'll bring it back down to more of a realistic range here at 4 seconds. Make the blade larger. Increase dispersion here. And we have a really nice blade reverb. Sounds quite metallic, like a blade does. A blade is a sheet of metal, so it sounds a little bit metallic. It sounds beautiful. And then we can change the pickup spacing here, have it spread out a bit more of a stereo image. And I think I will bring down the mix on the reverb a bit. Okay, we'll go back to the main menu here, or the main screen. Now we only have one effect going at the moment. We have the reverb. I think we'll go for the chorus block here. So just to engage this foot switch, they correspond to the effects here. Now we have a chorus. And this has a very nice chorus. It's digital mono. We have different types. We have 4-voice analog, 8-voice analog, 8-voice stereo, like a huge chorus. And basically the modulation effects in the Fractal are the best modulation effects I have ever used. They sound really good. They're really pristine and sort of inspired by like rack effects. Stuff like, you know, Eventide and Lexicon and stuff like that. Like 80s style, analog stereo, of course Dimension. This is a very wide sounding chorus. And not so overbearing. It still sounds quite natural. This is the one thing I like about this. It just sounds sort of the effect is there, but it's quite transparent. You can also go crazy if you want to. So we'll stick with Dimension 3, go into the basic settings on a chorus. We have mode. There's low, medium and high. I think that's for the range of the modulation here. Of course we have modulation rate. We can have a faster chorus, go up to 10 Hertz. Modulation depth, of course, a deeper chorus. And you can change the mix here. And if you go 100% on a chorus, it basically becomes a vibrato effect. The chorus really comes from mixing the dry signal with the affected signal. So basically using Fractal audio gear for so many years, like 15 years, has taught me so much about effects and audio processing that I I have a fairly good idea of what effects do and what they how you can tweak them to get what you want to. And there's stereo spread on the chorus as well. We can spread it out more, get like a really like a huge stereo field, or make it basically mono. These are the only settings on the basics chorus, and when you go to expert you get this page. So many parameters for just the chorus. So really you can basically build your own chorus here. So you can choose like a different LFO type here. Random is probably I wonder if it's a sample and hold kind of thing. Saw down, saw up, square, sine, trapezoid, astable, no idea what that is, exponential. So there's like a lot of stuff here that is familiar from synthesizers, but it's brought into these basically guitar effects. So then we can have phase reverse here, reverse the phase of one channel or both channels, and add voices. There's 2 voices by default in this chorus. We can add 8 voices here for a huge chorus. Change my arpeggio here. And we have 2 LFOs in the chorus. Basically add more modulation here. We can add drive, a bit of overdrive to the chorus. That's a chorus block, and we have all these effects types here. And from chorus we have compressors, delays, drives, enhancers, filters, flangers, formant filters, a gate, graphic EQ, an IR player which plays impulse responses, basically for a cabinet simulation, so not like reverb. Can't do reverb length IRs. There's a mega tap delay, multi-tap delay, parametric EQ, phaser, a pitch shifter, very good pitch shifter, flex delay, resonator, and more reverb, ring modulator, rotary, synthesizer, tremolo banner, volume, wah-wah. So basically that's our FX selection here. So again we can go for, let's say I want a phaser. I really like phasers on these type of sounds. So we will go into the phaser block, and these are the types of phasers we get here. A barber pole. So if you imagine one of those poles with the, I think they're red and white, that sort of rotate in front of barber shops, somehow does the same thing to audio. And you get basically emulations of classic effects like a Phase 90. You get vibes. Script 90, different type of Phase 90 here. 8-stage stereo. I like this, it's very wide. But still it sounds sort of transparent. So it doesn't mess up your sound, just kind of adds to it. Sounds really good. You make the phaser really fast, really slow. And into the expert page. In the phaser block we get several pages of parameters here. There's even a photo cell emulation here which you can tweak here. I don't know what a VCR is. It's some kind of a thing. Voltage controlled resistor maybe. Could it be? Maybe. And actually you can tweak this as well, type. There's exponential linear, JFET, photo cell, and bias this. Change the shape. Some of these settings are so subtle that I can barely tell that they're doing something. But they are there for you to tweak if you want to. And you have so many different settings here, it's crazy. So back to the FX selection here. We will go to our FX3, which is a delay at the moment. So we'll turn on the delay. Fractal is also really good for delays. And again, you have an insane amount of tweakability here and different types. We can go for like a 2290 with modulation. I'll actually turn off the phaser. We can either have this set to a tempo or set tempo to none and set your time here. Bring up the mix. Bring up the feedback here. Of course, we have modulation here, modulation depth. Bring that up a bit. Bring up the rate. Bring up the feedback. Very nice delay. Of course, you have a hold for your delay, a stack or a hold. And hold the delay indefinitely, or let it stack, then hold. And of course all of this can be controlled with the internal modulators or with external controllers via MIDI, for example. And there's of course an expert page for the delay as well. So here we go with the crazy amount of parameters for a delay. We even have a diffuser here, so you can make this a bit more like a reverb. Actually turn off the reverb here. And it's starting to sound a lot like a reverb. Here's the mix. So we just made this sort of a reverb, a washed out delay by tweaking a few settings here. So there aren't too many FX units that actually allow you to do this. We'll go back to this menu where we can choose our delay type. We have so many different types of sort of classic delays, more modern delays, rack delays, pedal delays, whatever you want. A wandering delay, wonder what that is. Yeah, this will wander around the stereo field at the reverb. This sounds really good. And we have stuff like worn tape. Like tape emulation. And you have different settings for your playback heads here. Its ratio of head level, head 2, bring up the head 2. And if we bring up the highs here, you can hear it's quite a dirty delay. Doesn't sound clean at all. And we can let it, or let more low end through here, the low cut knob. And of course we get this expert page here, and this is I think this is settings for the different heads. Oh, this is for LFOs maybe? I need to read the manual. But there's an EQ, of course. We'll go for the Zephyr here. And go back to basic settings. Add a bit of modulation. effects here. What else? That's our delay. Go with Plex delay. This is an interesting effects. This is a whole lot of delay lines just mixing together. So in here we also have, in addition to delay types, we have basically reverbs. The Plex verb, well, this is sounding like a reverb. So our Plex delay block can be basically used as a reverb. And of course we have shimmer reverb. This is like the proper worship shimmer. We can increase the shimmer here. I don't know if you can see on the stream, but there's a CPU meter here. Basically, while this can run a lot of very complicated algorithms, there is a limit to what this can run, because they are very computationally expensive. So you have to be mindful of your CPU. It's probably not a problem most of the time, unless you have like two ultra high quality reverbs and then you're running like a shimmer, Plex reverb and whatever else. Then you might run out of CPU. But this will basically allow you to just pile on whatever until you run out of CPU. Now I think this has like a super powerful processor compared to most other pedals. This takes up a lot of power. So the power requirement is basically 1.3 amps, while something like the Mercury X that I have on here requires 300 amps. So this needs like 4 times as much power, and has a really powerful processor. It's like, I think it's this Texas Instruments PSP thing that Fractal uses in their flagship, but this is of course not as powerful as the Asphex 3. But I think it's when you have cheaper pedals that run more effects at a time than this, it's basically because the FX algorithms are nowhere near as demanding. Now, whether that is a good thing or not, that's for you to decide. I like the sound of these effects. I don't like the shimmer. I generally don't like shimmer. But there are nicer types of shimmers. This is like a what do you call this? Like an octave down shimmer. And then you get these crazy effects here. Let's add like a bit of reverb. Sounds pretty dry. And you have a lot of different types of shimmer here, and occult verb. And you get stuff like this. A lot of different types here. Move away from the flex delay here. Oops, wrong thing. I will go for the first the multi-tap here. Multi-tap delay. Here we have things like some Alan Holdsworth sounds, I think. And there's where is it? Aurora delay is basically an almost exact copy of the Keeley Halo, the Andy Timmons delay. So Robert Keeley was actually, I think he was helping with the settings for this type here. Very nice sort of an ambient type of delay. Just a really nice late reverb as well. I think they've improved the reverbs a lot lately. These are quite a bit better than even like a year ago. You get all these crazy rhythmic things. And a left center, right center, kind of, I think it's a kind of a lexicon thing. And there are these PCM, these are like lexicon stuff. So you have PCM circular delay. It will circle around the stereo field. And the panning delay. Diffuser. Will build up. And of course this multi-tap delay block also can do chorus. So it is like old rack style chorus effects. So you have a chorus block, but then you also have chorus effects in other blocks. And you can basically probably make your own chorus using basic delays or something. So this pedal is really great for someone who really likes to go in deep and tweak effects and build their own stuff. Now this sounds really nice. Chorus 12-10. We'll go back to the reverb here. Like this. It's the reverb type. Go for one of these really special effects reverbs. Some more shimmer types here. Still not a huge fan of shimmer. And then the spring reverbs, of course. These are really really good emulations of springs. These are only in mono. So I wonder how I can change this to another reverb. Now reverb running into a reverb, and make this a spring as well. Then I want to route these in parallel, so I have two reverbs running parallel to each other. So they're not running into each other, they are running separately. And I want to send my left and right signals to separate reverbs. I wonder if I can figure this out. And the expert, check the mix page. Now here I can set the input. How do I route these in parallel? Oh, there's a input gate as well. We don't need an input gate with synthesizers. I'll turn that off. Preset levels, balance. There's an EQ, of course, for the preset. And I wonder if this is the screen where I can change the routing. Routing, yeah. You can set FX block 4 to parallel routing. Okay, now. Wasn't so hard. I will go back to our settings here. So now these two reverbs here are running in parallel. And now I will go into their settings and we will go here and set input select. We are in FX3, so I'll set this to left. Left, okay. Then we'll go to, I wonder if there's a better way to switch between the effects. We'll go to this one and set our input to right. So now our left and right signals are running into separate spring reverbs. And then then I want to have a bit of stereo separation in my synthesizer sound here. What we'll do is, let's see. We'll ban our oscillators. That's an easy way to add some stereo separation here. And we'll detune them as well. Not that much. Like this. We could actually have them run into separate filters as well. Mind my levels. And run oscillator 2 to filter B. Yes. We're getting some stereo separation here. Okay, now let's get back to the Fractal audio here. Now we have separate spring reverbs for each channel. And I want to have slightly different settings for each reverb. We'll get more of a separation. I think we need to somehow ban these as well. Balance. Is that how this works? That's weird. I will need to look at the manual. Stereo spread. Or simply spread the effects. Okay. I want to pan them a little bit. Balance should be panning. Let's try this here. This is not exactly the most intuitive pedal, especially if you want to do anything sort of more advanced, like pan or reverb. There's balance, but what does this do? Who knows? Like this. Okay. Well, actually, I will forget about this idea here. Make this empty and change our reverb. Something else. Recording Studio C. Nice. And back here. Entirely reset this thing. How do I do that? Enter. I will change presets and come back to this one here. Okay. Turn off effects and change start preset here. Change to this CS80 inspired thing here. We'll see if we can do like a poor impersonation of Vangelis. So we want a big hall. Some kind of a, let's see what we have here. Well, that's a whole large. We'll try that. For longer time. And we want more everything. I think increase the size here. Let's see. I want more modulation. And I can get that by going into the expert page here and setting my modulation here. This modulation depth is at 0. We don't want more modulation, we want some modulation. Moderate at maybe 1 Hertz or a bit lower. And LFO phase. Really spread that out. Starting to sound a bit more like a classic reverb. What else? Weak low and high decay here. I want the high end to linger a little bit longer. Sounds pretty good already. A bit of delay. Okay, getting somewhere. All these settings for diffusion. Oh. I think we're happy with this. Sounds sufficiently Blade Runnery. Very lush reverb. Sounds beautiful. We can actually, if for some reason we wanted to, we could reduce the quality of the reverb here. So by default it's ultra high. We can go for, let's say, economy. You'll probably notice the difference here. Back to high quality or ultra high. Economy. It's a lot smoother when you increase the quality here. You can also decrease the density of the reverb. So by default it's full up at 8. I don't know, 8 densities. Who knows? We can go down to 4. Back to 8. Again, much smoother, maybe a more natural sounding reverb when you set the density higher. But basically for emulating like older reverbs, you might want to bring down the density. I have to say that they have really improved the reverbs since I sold my FM3. It's sounding really good. I actually like it with the density lower. Makes for a more lexicon type and vintage lexicon type thing. When you get like more distinct echoes. And we'll actually make this even longer. Like 30 seconds. Okay. Not bad at all. Bring up the density. Slightly shorter. Maybe I would say that this would pretty much be worth it for delays and reverbs alone. When you think about the price of these high-end pedals, basically like a Mercury X will be, I think it's $599 in the US, and a Strymon Big Sky MX I think is, what is it, $699? I think it's $699 in Europe. So they are quite expensive for something that only do, or basically only do reverb, or dedicated reverbs. Mercury X does a lot more than reverb, but it's not like a full-featured multi-effects like this. We will add something to this sound here for a modulator. But we haven't tried the drives yet at all. The drives are sadly only mono. So is our synthesizer here. So these are basically drive pedals. So guitar pedals. We can add a bit of, or a little bit more than a bit of drive here. So this is like a Doom Screamer model, and you have a lot of models here. There's 73 different drive pedal models. A lot of stuff here. let's see. So this sounds nice and farty. Get a bit crusher. We'll go for, say, FET preamp here. Oh, that is loud. Sorry. We'll bring down the level quite a bit and the drive. Okay. And then do the expert page here. Now for the drive models, we get a lot of control here. You have like an EQ section here. For your advanced, you get a clip type. This depends on the model, but in some models you can basically build your own pedal. You have choice of different components, like different diodes, resistors, whatever. So here we can change to an op amp, variable, or nothing at all. We can change to diodes, an LED, silicon, high voltage tube, full wave rectifier, germanium, soft clipping, hard clipping, low voltage tube. You can basically just build your own drive model using these different components here. You can change the clipping shape here. You can change the bias. Make it broken. Very farty. And then in all drive models, you have sample rate and bit reduction. So you can basically bit crush and sample rate reduce any drive. So not just a bit crusher. We can make this into a bit crusher. We will reduce, let's say, 20 bits. Now we only have 4 bits. Nice and farty. And let's bring up the bit rate again, the full 24, and we'll reduce the sample rate. So we are getting a lot of aliasing here. We are sampling at 8197 Hertz, which is around 40,000 Hertz less than standard. So you can make some really lo-fi effects here. And we'll reduce the bitrate again. This is a little counterintuitive because this is the amount of bits that are reduced from 24. Right now I'm reducing 12 bits, so we get a 12-bit bitrate. So quite gnarly. Okay, and this is a crazy amount of control. Things you can do. Right now our very nice CS80 style brass sound is sample rate reduced and bit reduced to this dirty sound here. Let's check the... There's no dry signal. We will bypass the drive. And we just get this very nice reverb here. Now I don't know if my CS80 sound is exactly the same as a real one. Probably not. I referenced the Arturia CS80V plugin, but I have played an actual CS80 and it was very underwhelming, other than it being enormous and legendary. But at least I can say that I have actually played the CS80. Oh, and this is also the debut of my redone pedal board, vertical pedal board here. I basically added another shelf here, so I have two rows for pedals. I still have space for more, which is nice because, well, I will probably buy more pedals. And it's basically done using like traditional subtractive 3D printing. So first I 3D printed a tree, and then I cut the tree to the shape I wanted for the pedal board. And I painted it black. Looks nice. Okay, I think it's been like an hour and a half. So I hope you enjoyed the stream. This is very nice sounding pedal. The usability is so and so. It's okay. It's not terrible, but the sound quality is excellent. And you get, I think, a lot of basically quality bang for your buck. I'm very happy with this. I just got this today, that's why it has the plastic still. So I will probably be peeling off the plastic and I will be keeping this. What I still need to do is I need to get the current doubler cable for the Jox DC7 pedal power supply, so I don't have to use the wall wart to power this. So I would much rather use the isolated Jox power supply, and otherwise I'm just waiting to get my Oxy 1 back and get back into sequencing stuff. So I'm not much of a keyboard player, I have to admit. Okay, few more notes here. And a very nice reverb. So thank you for joining me, and I will see you again maybe next week.